Hello everyone, thanks for coming back, and today here on Go Tigers Astros we've got game 3 of a series between the Houston Astros and the Seattle Mariners in Seattle, Washington. The Astros have taken the first 2 games of this series, and so the series itself is already locked up, but of course today the Astros will be looking to sweep the series, which would be not only good for them in the way that it's a win, but since the Mariners are only 1 game back from the Astros in the division, this would help the Astros begin to pull away a little more and give them a little bit of a cushion, well on their way to securing first place completely in the division. To see them pull away from the Rangers and the Mariners the second half of the season would be great. I'm not sure that my body can take the stress of what happened last year with all the teams being so close together. I would rather see the Astros pull away, clearly take the division. Today's lineup for the Astros is just slightly different than it was yesterday. Jose Altuve will lead off, followed by Alex Bregman and Yordan Alvarez as usual. After Yordan, we have Yainer Diaz, John Singleton, Jeremy Pena, and Jake Myers. All of that's the same as it was yesterday. Followed by Trey Cabbage batting 8th, and today Mauricio Dubon will be in the 9th slot. I noticed somebody leave a comment in one of the highlight videos I watched yesterday that Dubon hasn't been hitting as well lately because he's been swinging for the fence. He's been trying to hit home runs. It is true that Dubon hasn't been performing as well recently as he was in the past. But he's prone to coming back. Brian Wu is on the mound for the Mariners, and he's set and ready to come to Altuve. Here's the pitch. Very first pitch skied up by Altuve, and it looks like it's going to be easy play for the third baseman just in the foul territory, and it is. So in the very first pitch, Altuve fouls out to the third baseman. A little unfortunate opening start for the Astros and Altuve, but that's how it goes sometimes. That brings up Alex Bregman. Wu looks like he's pitching out of the stretch. Here comes his pitch. First one to Bregman is a strike right down the middle. Very similar to the pitch that was given to Altuve, kind of high fastball, but this one looked like it was much more hittable than the last pitch. Here comes the 0-1 pitch to Bregman. Way outside and low for a ball. 1-1. They said it's 64 degrees right now in Seattle. That sounds really nice. It's going to be really hot here today. Over around 95 maybe. That pitch is very low, but could have been called either way. He goes as a ball. A sinker at 95 miles an hour. 2 balls and 1 strike against Alex Bregman. Here comes the pitch. This one is hit just on the left side of the bag, and they get him at first base. He was playing way over. The second baseman was playing way over in the middle of the field. Bregman hit it between second base and shortstop, but the second baseman was able to nab it. So that will be 2 outs. pretty bad throw. It bounced well before the bag, but it was no problem for the first baseman. Yordan Alvarez is up. The very first pitch to him is also another high fastball, and that one's in there for a strike. So the last three batters, Wu has started off with the exact same pitch, a high fastball, all in the zone. Well, Altuve's was a little high, I think. Here comes the second pitch. Another high fastball, but that one's out of the zone. 1-1. The 1-1 pitch to Yordan Alvarez. Here it comes. Right in there. 95 miles per hour. Could not have been more in the middle than that, but Yordan got nothing but air as he tried to hit that. That's not the kind of air Yordan we like to see. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here comes the pitch. Another high fastball, and that one's fouled away. So Yordan is able to foul away a high fastball out of the zone, but completely miss one directly in the zone. That's interesting. 1 ball and 2 strikes, the count remains. Here comes the pitch. That one bounces off the dirt, almost hits Yordan in the foot, for ball 2. The count is now 2-2. Here comes the 2-2 pitch to Alvarez. That one was very close on the inside corner. Could have gone as a strike. Very dangerous pitch to take, but the ump lays off. It is ball 3. Another 3-2 count, just like his opening bat yesterday. Let's see if he can not get a pitch timer violation, and he doesn't. And Yordan hits it into right field for a single. He turns that full count pitch into a single. Much better result than yesterday when he got the pitch timer violation and wound up striking out because of it. Just a nice line drive rip just around the first baseman. So Yordan will be on first base with 2 outs, and that brings up Yainer Diaz, who had a line drive home run yesterday that bounced off the top of the wall. Here comes the pitch, right down the middle, strike. So all 4 batters started off with a fastball. Now that one wasn't as high as the others, but it's very hittable right down the middle. No balls, 1 strike to Yainer Diaz. Here comes the pitch. A little ground ball, easy slow ground ball to second base. No problem for them to get over to first base to catch Yainer. And that will be out number 3. So the Astros do get 1 hit, strand Yordan on base. And that will be it for the top of the first inning. Ronel Blanco is pitching today for the Astros, so looking for him to have a good outing today and to pitch many innings. It would be nice to see him go deep into the game. Coming up in just a moment for the Mariners will be J.P. Crawford, followed by Victor Robles, and then Julio Rodriguez. Rodriguez had almost 2 home runs yesterday. He had the only 2-run shot. The only 2 runs that the Mariners scored, he had a 2-run shot off of Fromber, after which Fromber began to act a little mental and had to be pulled after the next 2 outs. He started getting frustrated. But later on in the game, he was robbed by Trey Cabbage out in right field. He had clearly a home run just right at the top of the wall, but Cabbage was able to jump up and catch it and then make fun of him with the X. And it was all in good fun. Rodriguez thought it was funny. He pointed at him and laughed, so it was all a good time. check here, as I usually do, just to make sure the audio is coming through properly. There it is. I use my phone just to check my stream. Everything seems to be going all right. J.P. Crawford comes to the box. Blanco gets the call and comes in with his first pitch of the game. That's a high fastball and fouled away by Crawford for strike one. Crawford hasn't had any hits in this series. He's 0 for 8. That's good news. This one's way high for a ball. 1-1 is the count against Crawford. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. That one's low in the zone and hit way high. Looks like Dubon comes in from left field. Calls off Pena and takes that one in for out number 1. No problem. Cabbage stays out in right field today. Myers in center. Dubon is out in left. Everything else is the same as yesterday. High fastball fouled back by Robles. No balls and 1 strike. Blanco with the call. Here comes the pitch. Nice sinking ball. Nice sinking pitch. A very ugly slider that got Robles swinging and striking nothing but air. Strike 2. That one dropped out so much it hit the ground. But this next pitch is hit out into left field. Looks like Robles is going to be able to make it into second base. He's trucking for it. And the throw is off target. Gets past Altuve, so he's easily able to get to second. So after getting down 0-2 and looking like he couldn't even touch the ball, he hits a nice shot out into left field, turns it into a double. So the Mariners have Robles on second base with 1 out. That throw by Dubon was right on the bag, so Altuve wasn't able to get it. First pitch, sinker, or a slider rather, for a strike. Rodriguez took a big swing at it, big cut, wasn't able to get it. Rodriguez is 1 for 8 versus Blanco. Here comes the next pitch. And this one is hit on left field. Is Dubon going to be able to get it? And he does, with a diving catch. And a quick throw to second, but they don't get the double play. Dubon came charging in on that line drive. That could very easily have been another single for Rodriguez, but Dubon made an outstanding play, just running in and diving to catch that ball, and almost got the double play to Altuve at second base, but Robles was able to get back. That brings up Raleigh, and he immediately swings and puts it out to center field, directly into the glove of Jake Myers. So with 1 hit and 1 run left on base, Blanco is able to get out of the inning, and the Astros put up a 0 versus the Mariners in the first inning. So at the end of the first inning, we have double goose eggs for the Astros and the Mariners, but both teams have 1 hit. It looks like it's going to be a good game. Everybody's swinging and hitting. Of course, I don't want to see the Mariners hitting and getting runs because of an Astros guy. I'm a Stros guy. But If they put up a little competition and the Astros are still able to win, it's fine by me. I'm not as excited by the pitching duels. If a pitcher like Blanco is pitching a complete game or another no-hitter or something like that, that's fun to see. It's a little stressful to watch towards the end of the game, but it is fun to see, and I love games like that. But it's difficult when the game is so close, when it's like 1-0 or 1-2 or something like that. If it's a low-scoring close game, they're very stressful to watch, in my opinion. Oh, they're showing some highlights with, I think, Yuli Gurriel's brother. I can't remember his name. Lordos? If you guys remember, you can tell me. Roster depth, clutch hitting, or defense, which has helped the Astros the most in this series? Defense. I mean, the pitching has been good, but the defense has saved them. So I have to go with defense. John Singleton's up to bat, and here comes the first pitch from Wu. That's outside. First time that Wu hasn't started off with a fastball. But then again, Singleton has not been very good from what I can tell with the breaking ball pitches, so maybe that's why he changed. 1 ball, no strikes. Here comes the second pitch. That one's inside. Singleton fouls it back for strike 1. One ball and 1 strike to John Singleton. Here comes Wu in the windup for the third pitch. That one's way inside. John has to kind of jump out of the way a little bit. Almost gets him in the feet. Ball 2. "17 pitches now for Wu. Here comes his 18th. 2-1 count pitch. This one is hit pretty hard by Singleton. It's back. It could be gone. And, it's just foul. Wow, that was clobbered. He got way underneath that, and it looked like it was gone for sure. It was right there. It had the distance, and it just went foul. Singleton misses putting up a solo shot, and that will be strike 2. 2-2. Wu back on the rubber. Look for the sign. And here comes the 2-2 pitch. That one's inside. Singleton goes opposite field. Looks like it's going to be right to the left fielder. He misplayed that one at first. He came in and then had to back up, but he was able to put it away. So Singleton, after giving a nice ride on one pitch, flies out to left field. 1 out here in the top of the second inning. By the way, guys, I am in Hiroshima. I've been living here now for roughly 3.5 years or so. I've been in Japan now for 4.5 years. Here comes the pitch to Jeremy Pena, who hits a slow ground ball to third base. He's going to rush to first, but he's not going to get there in time. That's going to be out number 2. So 1 pitch to Pena, and he's gone. Now we'll bring up Jake Myers. Anyway, show some love for my channel and for what I'm doing here, if you don't mind. Like and subscribe, or even if you're not looking to subscribe for the Astros games, then I understand that. At least like the video. That would be nice. I'd appreciate that very much. Trying to find other ways to raise money for cancer medication. First pitch to Myers is also hit and grounded to shortstop, and they throw him out at first. So really quickly, the Astros are 3 up and 3 down in the top of the second. Wu keeps his pitching count down, and we'll move into the bottom of the second. Upcoming batters for the Mariners are Jorge Polanco, Josh Rojas, and Mitch Haniger. But anyway, like I was saying, the reason I created this channel is because, number one, the the Astros games, whenever I do have the ability to listen to them or watch them, it seems like the only channels that ever call the games are either the opposing team or they are either the opposing teams or they are Spanish channels. There are no English-speaking channels that are for the Astros that are calling the games on YouTube. And since I'm in Japan, if I just want to listen to the game being called instead of paying a very high amount of money every month to hear or see the games, I mean, maybe it's like $5 a month or something to be able to listen to the games. But still, I prefer to have someone on YouTube doing live calls. But it's only available in Spanish. My Spanish is not that great, so I would much prefer English. I decided to start calling the games. And if the channel can grow a little bit, if you guys are interested in hearing me call the Astros games, then I'd appreciate you liking and subscribing. Over time, if it actually brings in a little income, then that would help me afford my medications and treatments, hospital visits for my cancer treatments. So I appreciate that. We're still on the break right now, but we should be back in just a moment. So Blanco's going to be facing Jorge Polanco, who's stepping up to the box now. Here comes the first pitch to him. That one is outside, 77 miles an hour, for ball one. I'm reloading my page here for a second to make sure it's as live as possible. Okay, ball two to Polanco. Here comes the third pitch from Blanco. Blanco to Polanco. That one is low in the zone for a strike. 2 balls and 1 strike. Here comes the fourth pitch. And this one is ripped but foul by Polanco. Way off in the stands by the third base side. That'll be strike 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Polanco batting an even 200 this season. 200, that's it seems that several of the Mariners have such a low batting average. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. This one, though, is ripped, but Altuve is right there to catch it. Line drive, straight to Altuve. Puts it away, no problem. 1 out. That brings up Josh Rojas. Here comes the first pitch to Rojas. A very nice slider and a swing and miss by Rojas for strike 1. The 0-1 pitch is high in the zone, but ripped pretty hard to right center. Myers is over there, but he won't be able to get it. And it bounces up and into the crowd for a ground rule double. That was an excellent hit by Rojas. Right out to the warning track, right before the warning track. Bounces off the ground. Yeah, right on the edge of the warning track and right into the crowd. So they have 1 runner on second base with 1 out, and that brings up Mitch Haniger. Here's the first pitch, low and away for a ball. Here comes the second pitch from Blanco, 1-0 pitch. Low and away, ball 2. Some interesting statistics they just gave. Out of all of the games the Mariners and the Astros have played together this year, the Astros have scored 25 runs, the Mariners have scored 24. It's been pretty close. Here comes a 2-0 pitch. That one is in there, a high strike taken by Haniger. 2 balls and 1 strike. Blanco with the very interesting bleached hair going on in the back. Here's the 2-1 pitch. That one is way outside for ball 3. So Blanco behind in the count. The Mariners threatening to give him some trouble here. Here comes the 3-1 pitch by Blanco. That one is low for ball 4, so he walked Haniger. The Mariners now have runners on first and second with just 1 out. "21 pitches now for Blanco. Luke Raley comes up to bat. Season average is .234, but .298 with runners in scoring position. Here comes the first pitch to him. It's tapped off the plate but goes foul for strike 1. It's 0-1 to Raley. And here comes the 0-1 pitch. That one's in there and he swings, lifts it up, but that's going to go foul down the third base line for strike 2. So Blanco jumps ahead in the count. This time 0-2. He gets the call here. Comes set. And here's the pitch. A little inside. Raley's able to hold back and take the ball, so that's 1 ball, 2 strikes. Just barely missed off the corner of the plate there. It was a good pitch. The 1-2 pitch. Here it comes. That one's high and outside. Way off target, obviously. Diaz encouraging Blanco to calm down. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Here comes the 26th pitch, right down the middle, and this one's grounded straight to Altuve. Could be a double play. Pena's got it, and they call safe at first base. Runner does advance to third. It seemed like the toss from Altuve to Pena was a little high, but he was able to drag his foot and then toss it over to first base. The Astros will not challenge. They took a look at it, didn't like it. So we'll see the instant replay here. Yeah, the throw by Altuve. Wow, that was close. The throw to Altuve was just a little high, but Jeremy Pena was able to get his foot across the bag and throw over to first. It couldn't have been closer, but it was just barely in favor of the runner, so they didn't challenge. Next batter is Dylan Moore. Moore takes the first pitch from Blanco for a strike. The Mariners now have runners at the corners, first and third, with 2 outs. No balls and 1 strike. And here comes the pitch to Moore. Little on the outside corner and low for ball 1. 1-1. In 20 at-bats, Moore only has 2 hits against the Astros, and one was a home run against Blanco. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Nice pitch right on the outside corner. Moore comes around with the bat and is unable to do more than a foul tip. That'll be strike 2. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. A little high and outside for ball 2. Two and 2 is the count against Dylan Moore. Blanco looking for the signal, and he's got it. Here comes the pitch. High for ball 3. So we got a full count with 2 outs. Here in the bottom of the second, runners on first and third. Moore steps in. Blanco's got the call, and here comes the pitch. In there, fouled straight up and back out of play. The count will remain full. I'm surprised they haven't sent Rayleigh from first to second. Here comes the full count pitch from Blanco. That one is right in there, and it's lifted out to center field. Is Myers going to be able to get there? He can't. It's going to bounce off the wall. It looks like both runners are going to score. Moore heads all the way to third for a triple. That was just a perfectly placed ball in between Myers and Dubon. Bounced off the wall and went over Myers' head, and that's what gave Moore a triple. Runners are able to score easily from first and third. It was a 2-out hit, so they were already off and running as soon as the barrel got on the ball. Moore was easily able to get to third base. He slid into third base, but he didn't even have to. He could have been in standing. So the Astros down 2-0 here in the bottom of the second, thanks to that triple. That's no fun way to start off. But like I said, it looked like the teams are hitting the ball. J.P. Crawford is back up to bat. Here's the first pitch to him. That one's in there for a strike. Oh, 1 pitch to Crawford. High for a ball. 1-1. One and one. Here comes the pitch. A little on the outside corner, taken for a ball. 2-1 against Crawford. Blanco is already getting close to 40 pitches. Here comes the next pitch, and that will be also a ball, a high pitch. Diaz stops, takes off his mask, and gestures at Blanco to calm down. Blanco doesn't actually appear to be upset or anything. He seems to be quite calm. He's just not getting the pitches. Here's the 3-1 delivery. And that one is crushed, but it is out of play. A very strong pitch on the inside to Crawford. Very dangerous. But he got around so early, it went way foul. Another 3-2 pitch to Crawford. Here it comes. That one's inside also, and he bounces it down the first baseline for another foul ball. This pitch will be Blanco's 40th pitch of the game. He gets the signal, comes set. Here's the pitch. Nice slider, gets him on an ugly pitch that the bottom fell out on for strike 3, so he manages to stop the damage at just 2 runs. A little disappointing in that inning that the Astros gave up 2 runs, or Blanco gave up these big hits. The Mariners get 2 more hits, for a total of 3 hits, and they come away with 2 runs. In the bottom of the second, the Astros are down now 2-0 as we go into the top of the third. Coming up, we have Trey Cabbage, Mauricio Dubon, and Jose Altuve, and I'll be right back. I'm going to get some hot water for my coffee. Well, the opposite, they're showing the stats for the Mariners and the Astros. The Astros are 19-6 since June 19th. The Mariners are 8-17. It's completely opposite. The RA is not too different, though, actually. I guess the batters just haven't been getting the job done. Trey Cabbage is up to bat, and the first pitch he takes for a strike. They look a little out to me, but the umpire liked it, I guess. Or he was paid to like it. Here comes the next pitch. Low and inside for a ball. 1-1. I have a pour-over coffee today. It's a European blend that I got from Eon here in Onomichi. The 1-1 pitch to Cabbage. Here it comes. A little outside for ball 2. Good eye on that one. European style coffee. 2 balls and 1 strike to Trey Cabbage. Here comes the pitch. In there, but he fouls it away. 2 balls and 2 strikes. The count is 2-2 against Trey Cabbage. Wu winds up. Here's the delivery. High fastball in the outside corner. Cabbage comes around but can't make a connection. That'll be strike 3. I'd like to know what the stats are on Trey Cabbage's strikeouts, because he seems to have too many for my preferences. That brings up Mauricio Dubon. Dubon has been doing pretty good this year overall, but he's had a kind of an inconsistent streak lately. First pitch to him is right on the inside for a strike. The 0-1 pitch from Wu. Here it comes. High fastball. Dubon fouls it away to the right side. 0-2 is the count to Dubon. Oh, and 2 pitch. Wu takes a long time to get his sign, and here comes the pitch. Way on the outside. Dubon lays off of that one easily. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Wu takes a big breath, gets the call, and here comes the delivery. Foul tip, caught by the catcher, and that will be strike 3. So 2 back-to-back strikeouts, or a back-to-back strikeouts for Brian Wu. Astros not looking good suddenly. I had to get up this morning at about 20 minutes to 5, so 4:40 this morning. So I really would like the Astros to do something and give me some reward for that. They call a timeout. Pitcher and catcher call a timeout. They're going to have a little meeting on the mound. They're facing Jose Altuve. The Mariners are wanting to do a baseball change. It's pretty interesting. Basically, the Mariners wanted to change the ball, but they were at risk of a pitch clock violation, so they called timeout in order to get around that. But now they're arguing with the umpire because that should be a pitch clock violation. And Espada comes out of the dugout to argue for that. So we're going to see if they're going to give that violation to the Mariners. Jose Altuve is up for his second at bat. He had 1 swing and 1 pitch in the first inning, and he fouled that up to end his at bat. Let's see if he does something different here. It's very interesting. Okay, so they give a ball. They give a ball to Wu for that. It's a pitch clock violation. Basically, once the clock gets to 9 seconds, you cannot change the baseball. So even though they called for a timeout with a mound visit, they got charged with a ball. So this first pitch is fouled off by Altuve, so it's 1-1. Here's the next pitch. Way outside, bounces in the dirt for ball 2. Two balls and one strike to Jose Altuve. And here comes the pitch. That one is in there, but fouled down the first baseline and out of play by Altuve. That'll be evening the count at 2-2. Get a good look at Altuve's face and see if he's looking focused. He gives kind of a sigh there. He doesn't look as energetic right now, but hopefully he can do something. Here's the pitch on the outside. That's going to be a full count. Oh, wait a second. Now they keep the count 2-2. And here comes the pitch. That one is low and away for ball 3. That's very strange. Apparently, they did not give a ball to Wu, but whoever's doing the count on the screen and the commentators themselves thought a ball was given to Wu, but apparently it wasn't, so now the count is full. High fastball on the outside. Altuve takes a half-hearted swing and misses it. Very un-Altuve-like for that swing. It goes down for the final out of the inning. Astros are going to have to look more alive than that if they want to win this game. Mariners only have 2 runs, but with the way that the Astros were hitting for most of the game yesterday, they're going to have to get it going a little better than that. Coming up in the top of the third for the Seattle Mariners are Victor Robles, Julio Rodriguez, and Cal Raleigh. Blanco has given up 3 hits and 2 runs. Anyone new to the channel, welcome in. I created this channel just recently, less than 2 weeks ago, and I'm experimenting to see if I can make it work. I'll give it a little time. If I'm able to get enough subscribers and support for the channel, then I'll keep it and keep doing the games as much as I can. This summer I'm going to have a break. I am studying Japanese in Hiroshima, and we're about to have a summer break, so I'll be able to call many of the games over this summer. So if you're interested in listening to the games, joining us in a live chat. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel, and if you can, send a little support my way in the PayPal link. Very first pitch to Robles is taken out into center field all the way to the warning track, but Myers is able to put it away for the first out. Kind of a deep drive, but it's an out. Hopefully Blanco can get out of this inning with just a few pitches. Last inning really ate up a lot of his arm, I think. But he looks calm, even through all of that. He's looked calm, so that's good. Here comes the next pitch, and this one is also driven out to center field, almost in the same spot, but not quite to the warning track. Myers puts that away. So 2 pitches, 2 outs for Ronel Blanco. Rodriguez with a smile on his face after that hit. I'm definitely not a Mariners fan, and not necessarily a Rodriguez fan. but it's nice to see a player like that, you know, being able to laugh and enjoy stuff like that rather than get angry or upset about it. Good sportsmanship. First pitch to Raleigh is on the outside corner for a strike. 0-1. He calls for timeout, backs out of the batter box to take a quick break. Here comes a 0-1 pitch to Raleigh. He swings at a pitch right down the middle and fouls it away for strike 2. Blanco looking really, really good in this inning so far. If he gets this out here, if he can get a strikeout here, he'll have a 5-pitch inning, and here it comes. That was a nice pitch. Tap to Altuve, who tosses it over to Singleton to get the out, no problem. So with just 5 pitches, Blanco is able to get out of the top of the third, or the bottom of the third, rather. I'm sorry. So we'll go into the 4th inning. The Astros are coming up in just a moment with the score Astros 0, Mariners 2. Alex Bregman will be the leadoff batter, followed by Alvarez and Diaz. Like I was saying earlier, guys, I started this channel because, and last night I was having pains in my side. I was diagnosed with having a large kidney cancer tumor a little over 2 years ago, and I've been fighting that ever since. And right now I'm on some new medicine. This medicine is pretty expensive, even with insurance here in Japan. So I thought about doing some of these live streams. I'm trying to find other ways to do work at home. I do teach a little bit because I study full time. I have a student visa, actually. I'm 49 years old and I'm studying in school full time in a language school here in Japan, studying Japanese, and that's a Monday through Friday morning thing. But in the afternoon and evening, and on the weekends, I try to teach online for my part-time job. But the thing is, I don't have too many students right now, and because of my health, I can't go out and work a local job. But even so, even if I did that, the pay would not be very good. I don't know if you know anything about Japan as far as living in Japan and working in Japan, but if you're a regular worker or a part-time worker or perhaps even a teacher, the pay isn't very high. And teaching online, actually, you can make a higher pay, but it takes time to build up your students. Oh, the very first pitch to Bregman here is a strike. It's in there for a strike. Bregman grounded out in the first inning. The 0-1 pitch, here it comes from Wu. That one's also in there, and Bregman takes a big swing at it, but he foul tips it into the glove of the catcher for strike 2. So, like I was saying, if you would like and subscribe, it will help me out. The 0-2 pitch to Bregman from Wu. Here it comes after a long delay by Wu. This one's also in there, but Bregman fouls it back into the crowd. The count remains 0-2. This will be the 40th pitch for Wu. And here it comes, the 0-2 pitch. Another one in there, and this one is skied up into center field. And very easily, Robles comes over to make the play. But the funny thing is that Rodriguez was already there and under the ball, but Robles insisted to catch it. So Rodriguez just stood there and crossed his arms in a very comical fashion. Seems he's been enjoying these games recently. Yordan Alvarez comes to bat, steps in the box. Wu gets his call, takes a big breath, and delivers the first pitch to Alvarez. High and outside for a ball. How many games has it been since Alvarez hit a home run? Isn't he still sitting at 19 home runs? He should be up to the 30s by now. Another pitch on the outside, ball. 2-0 to Alvarez. In this series, from what I've seen, because I did watch and call the last two games. No, I'm sorry. The first one I missed because I had an appointment on Friday. For me, it was Saturday morning. But the game yesterday, Alvarez had some good looks, but wasn't able to really do much. But this one is crushed, and Wu immediately knows it's gone. That ball was off the third deck. Just as I'm talking about it, Jordan comes up big and literally crushes one. And this isn't one of those, oh, he crushed it and it barely goes over the wall. This one was all the way up into the third deck. It was a complete destruction of that baseball. Wu's reaction was immediate. He immediately negatively reacted to that. He knew that it was gone. It was a no-doubter. 111.7 miles per hour off the bat. That was a perfect fastball right down the middle. And Jordan absolutely destroyed it. Wow. The camera operator missed where the ball hit because he had the camera too low. The ball was so far up, it was insane. They're saying that that's got to be the longest in the history of the stadium. Yainer Diaz took a ball for the first pitch and swings and misses at the second pitch for a strike, so the count's 1-1. It's about time Jordan got to 20. Here's the 1-1 pitch to Diaz. On the outside corner and low, but it was a strike, so 1 ball and 2 strikes. That was a good pitch from Wu. I expect Jordan to hit more home runs like that, and when he doesn't, it makes me sad. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Diaz takes that one way off the plate. 2-2. Here we are in the top of the 4th. The Astros are down 2-1. The count is 2-2 with 1 out with Yainer Diaz at the bat. Here comes the pitch. This one is grounded to the second baseman, who scoops it up in the grass, makes the play at first base, and that will be it for Diaz. They're showing the video again of this ball hitting the very front of the third deck. It was so high up there. I feel sad for the fan up there who almost caught it. It was just out of his reach. John Singleton is up to bat now with 2 outs. The first pitch, he lifts out into left field. Is it going to drop, or is he? It looks like the sun gets to his eyes, but he's able to catch it. It looked like he had some trouble with it, but was able to put it away. So on 1 pitch, Singleton flies out, and that will end the inning. But the Astros do come away with 1 run from that monstrous bomb from Jordan Alvarez. Finally, Jordan puts up another home run and gets himself into the 20s. I believe that that's his 20th home run. He's been sitting at 19 for the longest time. Let me scroll down and see if I can find the stats here. Where is Alvarez on this screen? There he is. I'm going to pull up his player profile on my screen and take a look. Yep, that's right. This is his 20th home run. So finally he moves beyond 19. He's been sitting at 19 and tied with Kyle Tucker for the longest time. But Kyle Tucker has been injured and hasn't played for a long time. I think if Tucker had remained on his current or his previous trajectory, he would be well over 30 home runs right now. He'd still be in the leading way up there, maybe even with Aaron Judge and those other guys. But even though he's been out for a while, he and Jordan have remained tied. So now seeing Jordan get over 20 home runs is nice. Maybe he'll kick it into gear and start hitting some more. Blanco's back up on the mound here in the bottom of the fourth. Jorge Polanco's coming up, followed by Josh Rojas and Mitch Haniger. First pitch to Polanco is in there for a strike. Polanco, left-handed batter, takes the second pitch on the outside corner for a ball. 1-1. 84-mile-per-hour breaking ball on the outside. The third pitch is another breaking ball, 85 miles an hour, but that's a low and inside, taken for a ball by Polanco. 2 balls and 1 strike. Next pitch is crushed out to right field, and it's going to be gone. Definitely not the hit that Alvarez just delivered, but it was a smooth swing, pitch right down the middle, similar looking pitch, and easily taken out. So just like that, the Mariners come back with the response to eliminate that home run that Jordan just delivered. Score's now 1-3 Mariners. Blanco has now given up 3 runs. And the 4th inning is still in just the beginning. Some guy with a Blue Jays shirt got that ball. Some Canadian got that ball. He's surrounded by Mariners fans, and the Blue Jay fan gets the ball. That's funny. Josh Rojas gets a strike, he swings for a strike on the first pitch. Wow, the second pitch was a beautiful sinker right in the bottom of the zone and called a ball. How was that even possible? That was a changeup right in there. The third pitch is hit down to first base, and Singleton easily grabs that one, or he makes it look easy, and tosses it to Blanco for the out at first base. That'll be the first out of the inning. Multi-base hits. Blanco's given up several. Doubles, a triple, and now a home run. Now he's facing Mitch Haniger. First pitch to him is outside for a ball. Haniger walked in the second inning. Here comes the next pitch. This one's right down the middle, and he swings and misses for strike 1. 1-1 against Haniger. Here comes the pitch. High, and he swings at that one as well. Same result, but he foul tips this one. Strike 2. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Mitch Haniger. One and 2. Here comes the pitch. That one is in the dirt and outside, scooped up easily once again by Diaz. I find it amazing how easy Diaz makes it look sometimes. The count is even at 2-2 on Haniger, and here comes the pitch. Nice pitch on the outside corner with a swing and miss. That'll be strike 3. 2 outs now. So aside from that solo shot, Blanco's looking pretty good so far. The one thing that I will say, though, is that despite the doubles, the triple, the home run, Blanco still seems calm. And he comes back in with a sinker and a swing and miss by Luke Raleigh, or Rayleigh, however you say his name. Strike 1. 0-1. Here comes the second pitch. Another similar pitch and gets him to swing and miss at that one. 0-2. Here comes the third pitch. This one is grounded to Altuve, who easily gets it over to Singleton for the third out of the inning. No problem. So after that solo shot in the beginning of the inning, Blanco gets 3 up and 3 down to make it look easy. He goes from giving up a homer to looking like the ace that he often is. But unfortunately, the Astros give back the run that they used to close the gap and are once again down by 2 runs, 3-1 against the Mariners here in Washington. The stats so far are as follows. The Astros have 1 run on 2 hits. Mariners have 3 runs on 4 hits. Coming up for the Astros in the top of the 5th, we have Jeremy Pena, followed by Jake Myers, and then Trey Cabbage. Just came back from the break. Jeremy Pena steps into the box. Wu has got his signal, takes his typical deep breath, and here comes the pitch. That pitch right there I don't understand, because it was a sinker, low and out of the zone, but called a strike. For Blanco, it was low and in the zone, but called a ball. So a little inconsistent on the part of the umpire there, but it's 0-1 either way against Jeremy Pena. Here comes the second pitch. A little high and, or rather, a little outside, but fouled away by Pena. 0-2. Pena is behind in the count. Here comes the pitch from Wu. That one is a nice, looks like a sweeper perhaps. Pena's not able to connect for strike 3, so Pena goes down on 3 pitches. 2 of those are on him, but 1 of those is on the ump. They're advertising some Astros championship trophies. That's funny. You can have a World Series copy trophy. Interesting. First pitch to Myers is in there for a strike. Wouldn't be surprised if he goes 0-2, because that's been very Myers recently. Here comes the pitch. That one's in there. Myers fouls it back for strike 2. So Myers once again is 0-2. Unsurprisingly. Myers had a really great home run, a 2-run shot that made the difference in the game for the Astros yesterday. Made up for a lot of his recent terrible at-bats. 0-2 right now against Wu with 1 out. Here's the pitch. That one's high and fouled up. Looks like it's going to go down the first base side. First baseman's got it. It looks like they're really having to fight the sun today. but he's able to pull it in for out number 2. Astros have some games coming up that look like they're going to be fun. They're going to be playing the A's, followed by the Dodgers, the Pirates, the Rays, and then the Rangers again before facing the Red Sox. Trey Cabbage is up to bat. Here comes the first pitch to him. On the outside, he does a kind of a check swing, fouls it off down the third base side. No balls and 1 strike. "56 pitches now for Wu. He gets the count. And here comes the 0-1 pitch. This one is also low and slightly out of the zone, but called a strike by the ump. Identical pitch almost to the one that they called he called a strike or a ball rather. Just moments ago. Second pitch is low for a ball, so the count is 1-2. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Trey Cabbage. 2 outs. Here comes the pitch. Whoa, inside. He tried to get it to come back, but not enough movement on it, so that'll be 2-2. On Cabbage. Top of the 5th. Not much going so far for the Astros, other than that shot by Alvarez. Here comes the 2-2 pitch to Cabbage. That one is fouled off to the third base side, far out of play. Count remains 2-2. Two and 2 is the count against Trey Cabbage, who gets the call, and here comes the pitch. That one is low and inside, bounces off the dirt. That's going to be a full count. Pretty interesting, tomorrow the Astros will be playing Oakland, and they just said that both starting pitchers are from Louisiana. They both played for the Ragin' Cajuns of Lafayette. It's pretty interesting. Here comes the full count pitch. And Trey Cabbage takes that one, but that's too close. That's right on the corner for a strike 3 call. So Cabbage strikes out for the second time this game, this time looking. So very disappointing at bat, but not surprising, unfortunately. So we've got Blanco coming back up in the bottom of the 5th to face Dylan Moore, followed by J.P. Crawford and Victor Robles. Not much going on with the Astros bats again this game so far. Other than that solo shot by Alvarez, they haven't done too much. They only have 2 hits. If Blanco and the relievers don't give up any more runs, then I can't really be upset with them. In these close-scoring games like this, the Astros batters need to be hitting the ball. I feel like there's no reason for them not to be hitting Wu. They're able to make contact. They're just not making anything happen. It seemed like in the very first inning that they were going to do something. It seemed like it was going to be a good hitting game. But it hasn't been. At least not for the Astros. Been much better for the Mariners. They've managed to score every 2 innings so far. So Dylan Moore is now up to bat for the Mariners, and here comes the first pitch from Blanco. Fouled back, 94 miles per hour on the outside corner. I wonder if I can get another cup of coffee out of this pour-over bag. It's going to be pretty weak, but it's okay. Second pitch from Blanco is just a little outside for ball 1, so that's 1 ball and 1 strike against Moore. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. Now that one's a little low for a ball. I have a feeling that if that had been a pitch by the Mariners, it would have been called a strike, but 2-1. Here comes the pitch. A high fastball gets him swinging for strike 2. That was a beautiful pitch. Those are always tough to hit. 2 balls and 2 strikes. 64 pitches now for Blanco. Moore's in the batter's box, ready to go. Blanco goes into his windup. Here's the pitch. Now it's right in there, fouled straight up, and it looks like it's going to go out of play. Back and out of play. Count remains 2-2. Blanco gets the call, and here comes the pitch. That one is inside, kind of off the fists, as Moore fouls it away again into the crowd. The count remains 2-2. Here's the 2-2 pitch, again fouled away by Moore. Two balls and 2 strikes, the count remains as Blanco deals to Moore. This one is way outside for ball 3, so the count is now full. This pitch is also fouled back by Moore. Moore just fouling the balls away like crazy. A good at bat for him so far, making Blanco work. Here is another full count pitch. This will be the 70th pitch for Blanco. A nice slider, looks like. Gets a strikeout of Moore. He goes after that one, but can't get it. Good win for Blanco. A very well-earned strikeout there. And 1 out here in the bottom of the 5th inning. That brings up J.P. Crawford, who immediately swings at the first pitch and fouls it away for strike 1. Crawford with a flyout and a strikeout today. Oh and 1 is the count. Blanco takes a moment to adjust his necklace and get comfortable. He gets the call and goes into his windup. Here's the pitch. Another swing, and this time a miss by Crawford on just a dropping pitch by Blanco. That one dropped so low that it hit the ground. Crawford was completely fooled, so that's strike 2. Here comes the 3rd pitch from Blanco. Very high fastball, way up by the neck of Crawford. He takes that for a ball. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Blanco quickly goes into the next pitch. This one a little outside, a little high and outside. He takes that one for ball 2. 2-2 is the count. I think this is going to be some of the weakest coffee I've ever had. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. That is right in the bottom of the zone. I thought for a second that the umpire was going to let it go as a ball, make another bad call, but he rung him up. Crawford is jawing about it, but he can't complain about that one. That one was in there. Yep, that was a strike. All day long, buddy. That's a strike in the low part of the zone. He didn't like it, but you can't take a pitch like that when you have 2 strikes. 2 strikeouts for Blanco in this inning. Back to back. 2 outs and nobody on. Batting now is Robles, Victor Robles. He takes the first pitch for a ball. Second pitch is too far inside and low for ball 2. Here comes the 2-0 pitch. This one's on the outside corner with a swing and miss by Robles for strike 1. 2-1. I'm going to take some of my Japanese milk here. Next pitch by Blanco is low and outside for ball 3. So Blanco way behind in the count to Robles. Put some of this milk in my coffee here. 3-1 pitch. Here it comes. Right in there. 95 miles an hour fastball for a strike. So the count is full once again. Robles smiling about that and laughing for some reason. This one's right in the middle, and he grounds it over to Pena. Pena backhands it but can't handle it, so he has no play at first base. That was going to be a difficult play. Most likely Pena would not have been able to throw it to first base anyway. Pena practically had to dive to get that ball. So even if he had been able to catch it, he wouldn't have been able to throw him out at first base. It's probably going to go down as a hit. So Robles will be on first base after that full count at bat. Blanco really having to work this inning to get these outs. He's up to 81 pitches. That will bring up Julio Rodriguez with 2 outs, 1 runner on. And that will go down as a hit. No error on Pena, as it should be. 0 for 2 with a line out and a fly out for Rodriguez so far this game. Here's the pitch. A nice pitch on the outside corner. Gets him swinging for strike 1. That was a lovely pitch by Blanco. He gets the call, comes set, and here's the delivery. Another pitch, very similar on that outside corner. Rodriguez takes a big whiff at it and walks away from the batter's box, disappointed in himself. But that was a good pitch by Blanco for strike 2. 0-2 is the count. Blanco 1 strike away from getting out of this inning. Robles takes his lead on first base. Blanco gets the call, comes set. Here comes the pitch. High and outside, runner goes, Robles goes, and it looks like he's got him. I don't know, that was really close. They call him safe, but Altuve caught that ball and applied the tag, and I wonder if he was able to get him in time. They're looking over the dugout to see if they want to challenge it. That was an amazing catch and tag by Altuve on his back. They did call him safe, but we're going to get another look at it here in just a moment to see if he got him. From that one angle, we can't see it. From the next angle, no, there was no... It could have been a tag, but from both angles it couldn't be seen, so the Astros don't challenge it. And the next pitch to Rodriguez is a ball, so it's 2-2. 2-2 is the count. Here comes the next pitch from Blanco. That one drops low in the zone and fouled away by Rodriguez. Count remains 2-2. That was such a close play. And an amazing catch and attempt at a tag by Altuve, but whether or not his glove actually got the jersey of Robles or not, there's no way to know. Here comes the 2-2 pitch again. This one on the outside corner. A nice movement on that pitch, and Rodriguez just barely able to foul it away and stay alive. That was a terrible pitch for him to swing at, but apparently it fooled him. He got lucky and was able to get a piece of it. Count remains 2-2. Another 2-2 delivery from Blanco. Here it comes. On that outside corner. Could have been called either way, and the ump doesn't like it, so it's going to be a full count on Rodriguez. This is the third full count of the inning for Blanco. He's really racking up the pitches. He's almost at 90 now. Here comes the full count delivery. A high fastball foul tip called by Diaz for strike 3. So although Blanco has to work his butt off in that inning with 3 full count pitches and a base runner, he also walks away with 3 strikeouts. What an inning. Rodriguez was really upset with himself as he walked off, but it was a good at bat. Can't complain too much. I mean, as a batter, I don't like it when I fight so hard and then have a strikeout, especially with a foul tip. But, you know, it happens. Even as a coach or as a fellow player, I can't be too mad at a teammate who battles the pitcher, gets to a full count, fouls off several pitches, really makes the pitcher work, and then strikes out. I mean, it happens. Any of those who are just joining, thanks for joining in. The name of this channel is Go Tigers Astros, in case you're wondering why. In football, I don't watch NFL. I stopped watching NFL a long time ago because I was an Oilers fan. I lived in Houston when I was a kid. I was born in Louisiana, but when I was basically, before I was even a toddler, my parents moved us to Houston, where my mom was from. And so for several years while I was a kid, we lived there, and I just automatically became a big fan of all the local teams, you know, all of the local professional teams, the Astros, the Oilers, and the Rockets. But as you probably know, if you're familiar with sports, and especially the NFL, the Oilers left and went to Tennessee, and I did not follow them. I was so angry and upset. I was definitely not interested in supporting the Tennessee Titans. So I said, screw that, screw the NFL, and I stopped watching the NFL a long time ago. I stopped caring. So even though the Texans exist and I wish them well, I don't follow them. Instead, I started watching the LSU Tigers college football. And so I'm looking forward to calling their games later this year. First pitch to Dubon is a strike. 0-1. Wu is still in the game, and he's about to deliver his 64th pitch of the game. Here it comes. Low and away for ball 1. 1-1. That was kind of a funny pitch. Wu, when he threw the ball, he spun completely around, like looked like he was doing a dance. 1-1 to Dubon. Here comes the pitch. Nice swing by Dubon on a nice looking pitch, but he fouls it back for strike 2. 1-2. 1-2 is the count on Mauricio Dubon. And here comes the pitch from Wu. High, and that will be taken as a ball. The count evens up at 2-2. The Oilers never gave me a championship, but the Rockets gave me some awesome championships and good memories. Astros finally came around and gave me some championships. 2-2 pitch, fouled off the fist by Dubon, goes down the first baseline and just behind the dugout and out of play for first baseman, so Dubon will remain alive. I'm going to have to take a really quick break after this inning, after this top of the 6th inning. A 2-2 count again. Here comes the pitch from Wu. Fouled back. That one was just a little high, but Dubon is protecting the zone there, so not willing to take that pitch. A little too close to call. 2-2 the count remains. And here comes the pitch from Wu. That one's right in there, and he grounds it down the first base side, just past first base, and he's going to try to go for two. He does. The ball bounces off the wall, and he's into second base standing easily. That was an excellent, not just an excellent hit by Dubon, but an excellent read on going to second base. Rodriguez went over to play that ball off the wall, and it got past him. Dubon rounded first base immediately to try to go to second, and it looked like it was going to be a close play with Rodriguez having time to pick it up and throw it to second. But when it bounced off the wall and he tried to pick it up, it got past him, so Dubon was easily able to roll into second base. So Dubon with a leadoff double, and that will bring my hero, Jose Altuve, up to bat. Now this is where the big firecracker really needs to do something. Come on, Altuve. First pitch to Altuve from Wu. On the way. Right down the middle, and Altuve swings, but misses. A beautiful pitch right down the middle for Altuve. I guess it wasn't a bad enough pitch for Altuve to get a good hit. Maybe that's the reason why. 0-1 to Altuve. Here comes the delivery. Wow, broke his bat, and he hits it barely down the first baseline, and the catcher tries to underhand it to first base with an absolutely terrible effort. That was crazy. Broken bat, check swing by Altuve. They're going to show the replay again. This pitch was right down the middle, but a little high. And okay, it was a little high and off the fists of Altuve. He checked his swing, and it completely shattered the bat. As soon as the bat was destroyed, the ball rolls down the first baseline just maybe 10 to 12 feet. The catcher was able to get it, but when he picked it up with his hand, he just tried to scoop it with his hand. I don't know exactly what he was thinking, because he only throws it underhanded for like 5 feet. No, not even halfway to first base. So Altuve gets a hit, an infield hit, and we have runners on the corners. Yeah, very crazy. The catcher, okay, I see what happened. Whenever the catcher picked up the ball and tried to underhand it to first base, it came out of his hand. He didn't have a good grip on it. So when he went to throw it, the ball was already out of his hand, and he just kind of pushed it, and it rolled towards first. That was a crazy looking play. Runners on the corners now for Alex Bregman. Wu comes set, and he's about to deliver the first pitch. This one is on the outside corner for a strike. I'd be looking for Altuve to run here. Bregman doing pretty good with runners in scoring positions, especially with no outs. No balls and one strike to Alex Bregman. Here comes the pitch. This one is lined. Oh, and it's dropped. Wow, this was terrible. It was lined to Crawford, and he caught it, dropped it, and then throws it to second and then to first for a double play. They're going to say that it wasn't a catch, and now Espada is coming out to argue, because what Crawford did was he caught it and dropped it, and then they turned a double play, but Espada is arguing with the umpire that that was a catch. The second base umpire ruled that it was a drop. But now the umpires are going to gather together and talk about it, because they're going to see if Crawford deliberately dropped it. Let's see. They're showing the replay. No, he didn't catch it. Okay, so that is going to be a double play. Terrible. Unfortunately, Dubon is held at third. This is not going to be a catch. Espada is still arguing with the umpire, but based on the replay, Crawford did not have control of that ball. He's arguing, I'm sure that he's arguing that Crawford caught and controlled the ball and dropped it. But if you watch the replay, when he tried to catch it, it bounced right out of his glove. And then they were able to turn the double play. Altuve was nowhere near second base because he thought it was going to be a catch. And then Bregman was out at first. So, but actually, with Alvarez coming to bat with 2 outs and Dubon still on third base, they're going to change the pitcher. They're going to bring Brian Wu out. So even though he just got this double play and is only 1 out away, they're not going to let him face Alvarez again. This has been one of the strangest innings I've ever seen. It's so difficult to explain to you guys what's going on because it's been so strange. So Dubon comes up and hits the ball opposite field down the first baseline, and he rounds first and books it to second base, which was a questionable call at first, it seemed, because Rodriguez out in right field was going to have a chance to snatch up the ball and fire it to second base. But when he fielded it off the wall, he didn't control it properly. He missed it. And so Dubon was able to easily get into second base standing up. So that was the first strange play of the game. The second one was Altuve with his check swing, shattered bat that trickled down the first baseline. Altuve booked it down to first base. The catcher couldn't handle the ball properly and made a terrible underhanded effort that just rolled in the grass, and Altuve made it to first. Dubon went to third. So the Astros had runners on the corners with no outs, and that brought up Alex Bregman. Bregman had a line drive shot directly to the shortstop, Crawford, and at first it appeared that Crawford had made the catch and deliberately dropped the ball so that he could go for a double play, and the umpires called both Altuve and Bregman out and gave the Mariners the double play, but Dubon stayed at third base. So Espada came out and argued with the umpires, but when he watched the replay, it was clear that Crawford did not have control of that ball, so it was a double play. Not much the Astros could do about that, but I do wish that Bregman had booked it down to first base a little bit harder. Now there's a pitcher change, and Taylor Saqueto, his first pitch to Alvarez is on the inside for a ball. They bring in a left-hander to face Alvarez. Here's a second pitch. This one's a little low and outside, but in there for a strike. 1-1 against Alvarez. They really need at least this one extra run here. Dubon started off the inning with a double. Now he's over on third base, and they haven't been able to bring him in yet. But Jordan could really help him out by bringing him in right here. The third pitch to Alvarez is outside for ball 2. 2-1. Saucedo is the pitcher, Taylor Saucedo. So that's how you pronounce it. Got it. 2-1 pitch. Saucedo gets the call. Here comes the pitch. Hits very hard out to left field. Is it going to be... Wow. No, it's dropped. It's dropped. It was on the warning track. The center fielder caught it at first. He rammed into the wall and dropped it. Alvarez is going to be in with a triple, but their center fielder is holding his leg. He's down on the warning track and holding his leg. They're going to bring the trainers out there. Dubon scores. Jordan gets all the way over to third. That's unfortunate. I don't want to see that. Yeah, he's grabbing at his right foot, and we're going to get a better look at it right now to see exactly what happened. He jumped into the wall, and his right foot His right foot went awkwardly into the wall, and he immediately went down and grabbed his ankle, and the left fielder had to come over and get the ball and bring it in. But by the time they did that, Jordan was over on third. He is still down right now. They're out there at the warning track with the trainer checking his leg and his ankle. It looks like he's in some pain. Don't like to see that. I don't know about you guys, but what I like to see is when two teams play, I like to see them at 100% strength. I like to see their best pitchers healthy and all of their hitters healthy. I like to see everybody at their complete full strength and to have a good, fair matchup. I don't like to see any players go down. I don't care if it's their number one player who's just tearing us up. I don't want to see him get injured. I want my team, the Astros, to beat the other team at their full strength. So I hate to see stuff like this. And he was really full speed. He made a tremendous effort to catch that ball. Alvarez drove that one all the way to the wall. It got out there pretty quick, so he had to rush to get out there. And he basically dove into the wall at full speed. He was able to keep from ramming his body into the wall so much by using his feet and his hands. He made the catch and went into the wall, but you can still see the dent in the wall where his right foot hit it. It's possible that he twisted his ankle when he hit the wall there, but as soon as he hit the wall, that's when he dropped the ball. He actually caught the ball. And it looks like something else came out of his pocket, or something else came out. Was he chewing something? Some gum or something? It's a shame because he could have made a really great play, and he did. The ball came out after he hit the wall. I hate to see that, to go through so much effort and get injured and not get the play, but it's good for the Astros because we got a run out of it, and Jordan is on third. They've got him now walking from the outfield to the dugout. They're helping him. He's limping. He's going to come out of the game, obviously. Right now, they don't know who's going to be going out to center to replace him, or if Robles is going to move over from left field. We'll find out in just a moment. Crowd is cheering as he comes off the field. Man. The game keeps getting weirder and weirder. It looks like they're moving some players around. Robles is going to move out to center field, and Ty France is going to come in on first base. Jordan has 11 three-hit games so far this year. Nice to see him finally doing something. This is the Jordan that I'm used to. Obviously, Jordan can't have a great game every game, but I feel like just recently he hasn't been crushing the ball like he's known for. So seeing him drive one out for a home run and then another one to the wall, good vibes, good vibes. Yainer Diaz is up now with Alvarez on third base and 2 outs. Saucedo is now set. The game is starting again. Here's the first pitch to Diaz, way outside for a ball. Not quite sure if that long break is going to affect Saucedo, but we'll see. 1-0 versus Diaz. Saucedo gets the call. Here comes the pitch. That's also outside for ball 2. 2 straight balls way out of the zone to start off. 2-0. Umpire calls timeout. And they're going to intentionally walk Yiner. They're not going to pitch to him. So they won't pitch anymore. They pitched two balls in a row. Pitcher is not liking it. He's shaking his head. I guess that was a coach's call. They decided to intentionally walk Diaz to bring up who's coming up. It looks like they got a pinch hitter for Singleton. Chas McCormick is coming up. Haven't seen him in a while. It'd be nice to see him do something. Chas is batting .203 for the season. He hasn't been as efficient at the plate as he was last year. Commentators on the game now are talking about how Chas has a big opportunity here to do something, and he does, because he hasn't done much in a while. And now the Astros are down by 1 run here in the top of the 6th with runners on the corners. Just a single right here would be a big deal for him and the Astros. Let's see what he can do. Here's the first pitch to Chas. Right down the middle, Chas swings and misses for strike 1. 92 miles per hour. 0-1 is the count. Saucedo gets set. Here comes the pitch. Way outside, and Chas just lightly throws the bat out there and completely misses it. Not sure what he was thinking. Strike 2, I'm sorry. No balls and 2 strikes against Chas McCormick. Astros can't miss this opportunity. McCormick needs to do something here. Here comes the pitch, 0-2 pitch. Way outside, this time taken for a ball. 1 ball, 2 strikes against McCormick. The Chasmanian Devil. Can we see a glimpse of that Chasmanian Devil right now? Here's the 1-2 pitch. Right down the middle, and he goes down on strikes. Swinging. Chas, a very sadly and unfortunately typical at-bat, the way he's been performing recently. Leaves 2 runners on base, a great opportunity to at least tie the game. Is not able to do it, so the Astros will move into the bottom of the 6th with only 1 run. Once again, thanks to Yordan Alvarez and his triple. So the Astros have 2 runs thanks to Yordan and are down 3-2. Astros have 5 hits in the game, same as the Mariners. Blanco is still slated to be up in the bottom of the 6th with Cal Raleigh up to bat. After that, Jorge Polanco and Josh Rojas. Astros, man. This is Go Stros. Go Stros. If you're talking to me. I don't know if my logo is confusing you, because I've got a tiger on it and the Astros logo. But that's because I am an LSU Tigers football fan and a Houston Astros baseball fan. So what I hope to do is call as many of the Astros games as I can this season. And then later on, when the football season starts, the college football season, to call the LSU Tiger games. That's what I hope to do. But as you can see, I only have 9 subscribers because my channel is very new. I've only had this I can't talk right now. I've only had this channel for a couple of weeks, and I have to decide if I'm going to be able to do it or not, because it does cost money to pay for the subscription to watch the games live so that I can call them for you guys. If I'm able to get some followers and get some support, then I will definitely do that. I'll definitely keep doing the games. So please like and subscribe if you're interested in hearing the Astros games, or if you're interested in hearing the LSU Tiger football games. First pitch to Raleigh is a ball. Second pitch is fouled away for a strike. 1-1. Blanco up to 91 pitches, so I would imagine this is going to be his last inning. Here comes the pitch. Check swing for strike 2. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Raleigh. And by the way, if you're in the live chat and you leave a message, it takes me too long to respond. I apologize for that. Since I'm such a new channel, I don't have many people in the chat, so sometimes I forget to check. I've got the game showing live on my screen. Later on, I'm going to set up multiple screens if I can, so I can see so I can see 2 screens at the same time, and then I can keep my live chat up. Another ball and another swing and foul ball by Raleigh. The count is even, 2-2. 2 balls and 2 strikes. This will be the 95th pitch for Reynel Blanco. And here comes the pitch. Right down the middle, fouled up. Is that going to be in play? It looks like Bregman's going to be able to get over there. Right in the coach's box, he makes the play. And that will be out number 1 for the Astros, and Blanco in the bottom of the 6th. That will bring up Jorge Polanco. Blanco versus Polanco. Let's hope he doesn't Polanco. That was a little strange. Batter tried to call timeout, but the ump didn't call it. Pitch came in and was slightly off, so unfortunately it was a ball. Here's the next pitch, high and outside for ball 2. Blanco really missed an opportunity on that first pitch because the batter stepped out and called timeout, but he didn't get it. Unfortunately, that ball was too far out. Third pitch is high and away, but Polanco swings and misses for strike 1. 2 balls and 1 strike. Blanco gets the call, and here comes the pitch. That one's ripped out to right field for a single. Nice swing and hit by Polanco there. For the season, Blanco hasn't allowed more than 6 hits, and that is the 6th hit of this game. So that ties his season high. Last year, Blanco allowed 7 hits. Here comes the first pitch of the next batter, which is Josh Rojas. He skies it way up to left center. Chas McCormick comes over and grabs it, tosses it in. Second out. Polanco stays at first base. And after that, a spot is going to come out and make the change right now. 100 exact pitches for Blanco, and that's going to be it for him. He seems happy with it. He's good. He's coming out of the game, and just as they're about to show us who's coming in the game, they cut away to a break, so I don't get to see who's coming in. But I'm going to be right back. I'm going to have to run to the bathroom. I'll be right back, guys. I just came back, and even though they had a pitching change, I wasn't able to get back in time. We just had a single. Seth Martinez has come in to relieve Blanco, and after just a couple of pitches, the fourth pitch to Haniger is singled out into center field, and now the Mariners have runners at the corner with 2 outs. Runners at the corners, 2 outs. That brings up Luke Raley, who is 0 for 2. He had a ground out and he actually scored. He was able to score in earlier. Two outs. First pitch to Raley with runners at the corners. Here it comes. That one's in there and crushed out to right field. It looks like that's easily going to be gone. Oh my gosh. So just like that, Raley comes in, gives up a single and a home run to completely destroy the 1-run deficit. And now the Astros are down 6-2. Just like that, they pull out Blanco at 100 pitches, and in one swing, Raley gives the Mariners as many runs as they scored on Blanco the entire game. What a disappointing, very disappointing move. First pitch to the next batter, Dylan Moore, is 1 ball and no strikes. Next pitch is high. Looks like it could have been a strike, but called a ball. 2-0. Questionable choices in this game now. That ball cruises in there for a strike. 2 balls and 1 strike. Absolutely terrible. Okay, so I learned my lesson. I guess I can't take breaks. That ball's low for ball 3. It appears that even a tired Blanco is better than Martinez right now. Martinez puts that one low and away for ball 4. So a 5-pitch walk to Dylan Moore. That home run was a sweeper, but it had almost no movement on it. It was right in the middle of the plate. There was just no way that that ball was going to get by the batter. And it was crushed, but got out quick too. Pickoff move by Martinez to first base, but he gets back no problem. Looks like they've moved Dubon to first base. Here's the first pitch to J.P. Crawford. That one's in there for a strike. Unless the Astros can come up with 5 runs, they're going to drop this one. They're not going to be able to sweep the series. This one way off the plate for ball 1. 1-1 against Crawford. They've only got 3 more chances after this. Assuming they can get out of this inning, they'll only need 5. But 5 is a lot the way the Astros have been batting. Here comes the next pitch. In there for a strike. 1 ball and 2 strikes against J.P. Crawford. What an absolutely disappointing turn of events. It must make Blanco feel completely sick. Here comes a 1-2 pitch to Crawford. Way outside, Diaz makes the throw. There's an attempt to steal at second base, but he's got him for the 3rd out of the inning. That was a very good catch and quick tag by Pena to get the out. And that will end it for the Mariners here in the bottom of the 6th, but they come away with 3 freaking runs. to extend the lead 4 runs, 6-2 on 8 hits. This is actually the one thing about baseball that has always got me. I don't know about you guys, but I often think about how in a baseball game, of course, you have a team. You have 9 players on the field, right? And it's a team sport. It's a team sport. But even though you can have one batter come up to the plate and get a good hit to tie a game or win a game or whatever, you still have to have other players typically getting on base and getting hits. So you really need many players on your team to be getting hits and getting on base in order to score runs to win the game. So that really is more of a team effort to score runs. But when it comes to defense, the bulk of the defense is what your pitcher can do. Of course, having a great set of fielders around you is something that can save a pitcher's butt. But primarily, the most important thing is, what is the pitcher doing on the mound? If you take a pitcher like Framber Valdez, when he's on, he gets a ton of ground balls, a lot of double plays. So even if he gives up a hit to somebody, there's a good chance he'll get a double play. And so when he's on, he's doing a really great job. But the problem is, when the pitcher is not on, then things can go out of control really fast. And I've always felt like that's just so much pressure on one position player. Too much hinges upon one position player. And that's always been my issue with baseball. And I've thought about it sometimes. What if you played baseball where the positions had to alternate? You know, that would be interesting to me. I'd like to try that with some people one day. That would be funny. Jeremy Pena's up to bat, and his very first hit is hit way out into left field, and that ball is gone. The very first pitch of the top of the 7th is sent out to left center field by Jeremy Pena, and easily over the bullpens out there. And Jeremy Pena, just like that, brings the Astros back within 3 runs. So that's one of the 5 runs that the Astros need. Now they just need 3 to tie and 4 to win. Well, it actually landed in the back of the bullpen, and the Mariners pitchers had a duck out there. Great shot by Pena. It brings up Myers. First pitch to him by Snyder. Colin Snyder is in the game pitching now. First pitch to Myers is outside for a ball. Myers had a really great home run yesterday. Let's see if he can do something here. Next pitch to him, a little bit of a sweeper on the outside corner called strike. It's 1-1. Real quiet but awesome home run by Pena. Next pitch, high in the zone. Meyer fouls it away for strike 2. Pena finally the first guy to get a run for the Astros that wasn't hit by Alvarez. That wasn't knocked in by Alvarez. The 1-2 pitch to Myers. Here it comes. Inside. And Myers gets around way too early. That looked like a good pitch, and he did rip it. But it was fouled down the third base line and out of play. Nice line drive shot. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. This one also fouled away, but down the first base line and out of play into the stands there. They did say that Myers has 3 home runs in the last 5 games, which is really great. But other than that, he's been striking out a lot. 1-2 remains the count, and here's the pitch. This one, another beautiful pitch, but right in the zone. Unfortunately, Myers is not able to connect with this one. So Myers fouls off the pitches that are a little out of the zone, and then when it is in the zone, a sweeper right in the middle of the plate. He's unable to connect for strike 3. That's unfortunate. Trey Cabbage comes up to bat. He's got 2 strikeouts today. He's been a little lackluster. The first pitch, though, he hits right up the middle. So the very first pitch by Pena, with Pena is hit out for a home run, and the very first pitch by Cabbage is hit up the middle for a single. So Cabbage will be on with 1 out here in the top of the 7th. Mauricio Dubon comes up to bat. Dubon has 1 hit, a double, a really awesome double, in which he scored later on an Alvarez triple. Oh, a wild throw. Chaz is going to rush to second base. He stumbled and fell, but the check pickoff throw by Snyder over to first base was a little wild, mishandled by the first baseman. Chaz went to take off to second, but stumbled. We'll see the replay here. That was a terrible throw by the pitcher. There's no way, even with the stumble by Chaz, there was no way for them to get to the ball fast enough to throw him out at second. So Chaz is now in scoring position on second base with 1 out. Here's the first pitch to Dubon. Right down the middle for a strike. Dubon just took it all away. I don't know what Dubon's average is with runners in scoring position. They might show it on the screen. If they do, I'll let you know. Second pitch to Dubon. Here it comes, right down the middle also. Little breaking ball. He fouls it away into the stands for strike 2. Dubon actually has a really good ability to just get a hit. If he's not trying to crush the ball, he could very easily bring McCormick in. Here's the pitch. And he goes down swinging. That was a fastball right down the middle, and he just didn't even come close to it with a pretty weak swing. Goes down, and that will be 2 outs. Astros missing a really good opportunity here so far, bringing in a second run. My hero, Jose Altuve, is coming up to bat. He's got 1 hit so far in this game, hanging on to that .305 batting average. Alvarez, with his hits, he's got 3 hits this game, performing much better today. He's got his average back up to .299, knocking at the door of .300. Would absolutely love to see Jose Altuve home run right here, but we'll see. It looks like they're going to bring in another pitcher for Colin Snyder. They're not going to let him face Altuve. So we got a short break here just for a moment. For those of you who are listening now, thanks for joining. My channel, Go Tigers Astros, is kind of a new channel. I've only had this up for a couple of weeks now. And I actually live in Hiroshima, Japan. I've been in Japan now for about 4.5 years almost. And I lived in China before that for almost 7 years. But I grew up a Houston fan. And after I stopped watching the Oilers when they left for Tennessee, I started watching the LSU Tigers play. So that's my team for football. I don't watch NBA anymore, even though, you know, I wish the Rockets well. I stopped watching them a long time ago. I watched way back when, you know, I was growing up, and then they had Olajuwon, and then after that, when the Astros were just dropping tons of three-pointers on everybody, and they took a couple of championships. I watched during that time, and that was awesome. They finally gave me some championships. Unfortunately, the Oilers never did, although they should have. But that collapse versus the Buffalo Bills, which is infamous, really crushed me. And then later on, the Astros did get the championship in 2017, and I'm glad that they were able to get the other championship, because that kind of wiped away all of the cheating crap from 2017, and they decidedly won their last World Series. So it was nice seeing them come back. So that the Mariners now have Gregory Santos in the game. He's going to be facing Jose Altuve, and here's the first pitch from him. Altuve hits it right down the line on the third baseline. Are they going to be able to get him at first? Yes. Very first pitch. It looked like a 100-mile-per-hour pitch. Did I read that right? A fastball. Jose Altuve hit it right down the line, but it was so hard hit that even with the long throw, they had time to get him at first base. So that ends the inning. The Astros walk away with only one run on that solo shot from Pena. They strand Dubon on, they strand McCormick on second base. That's unfortunate. Astros with a good opportunity to close that gap a little more and just couldn't do it. Seventh inning stretch. They've got God Bless America going. So just a quick game recap while they are singing. I'm going to mute this song just so I can think. Listening to a song while I'm trying to give a recap is a little difficult. The Astros have 7 hits and 3 runs. Mariners have 8 hits and 6 runs and 1 error. In the 4th inning, the Astros were able to score on a monster hit by Yordan Alvarez that hit off the third deck in right field. It was a monstrous hit. They were able to score again in the 6th inning, just 1 run. And then another solo shot by Jeremy Pena in the 7th. But in the 6th, Yordan drove in their other run with another monster hit triple off the wall in center field. Their center fielder was able to catch it, but when he hit the wall, he dropped it and hurt his ankle, had to come out of the game. Yordan was able to go to third, and Dubon was easily able to score from third, but they stranded Yordan on third base and didn't bring in another run. In the 7th, we had another similar situation where McCormick was able to get on base, and unfortunately, even after he was able to get to second on a wild throw, they stranded him. Pena was the only one to drive in a run that inning because of his solo shot on the very first pitch of the inning. So the Astros have been getting 1 run here and there, but haven't really been able to do much otherwise. Their offensive production has been rather anemic. Ronel Blanco did not have a bad game. It wasn't stellar, but he did limit the damage to 3 runs all the way into the 6th inning. After 2 outs in the 6th inning and 1 runner on, they decided to pull him. He was at 100 pitches. They brought in Seth Martinez. Martinez gave up a hit and then a 3-run shot home run. So just like that, the Astros went from being down 1 run to being down 4 runs. It was ridiculous. Right now, after Pena's 1-run shot, the Astros are down 3, 6-3. Martinez is still in the game for the Astros, and his first pitch is a strike. He's facing J.P. Crawford. Here comes the second pitch, right down the middle. Crawford fouls it back for strike 2. The 0-2 pitch from Martinez is on the way. Way outside for ball 1. I have some of my cold coffee. 1-2. Here's the pitch. Fouled back 90 miles per hour on the outside corner. Count remains 1-2 on J.P. Crawford. Martinez walks off the mound, picks up the rosin bag for a moment, kicks the dirt around a little. Everything seems to be in order, and here comes the 1-2 pitch. That one's on the outside for ball 2. Crawford not biting on that one. 2-2. Crawford 0-3 today. Let's make it 0-4. Here comes the pitch. Inside off the fists. He swings and fouls it up out of play. Just a little too far for anyone to make a play on it. Count remains 2-2. Most consecutive saves for the Astros all time. Brad Lidge at 24, Billy Wagner at 22, Josh Hader at 20. Pretty amazing. Crawford does manage to get a hit. He hits it out in left field, and he's going to make the turn but stay at first. It looks like McCormick got to it, brought it in pretty quick, holding Crawford to a single. So McCormick manages to get a hit for the day. Victor Robles is 2 for 3. He comes to the plate with no outs and one runner on for the Mariners. Martinez has now given up several hits in this game. His first pitch is high and fouled away by Robles. That'll be strike one. I'm not really feeling it with Martinez right now. We'll see what he does with Robles here. Hopefully they can get a double play. That would be ideal. Here's the next pitch. Inside and fouled away again down the third baseline. Strike two. Mariners seem to be making a lot of contact with the ball off of Martinez with foul balls and hits. This game, 6 runs for the Mariners, 3 runs for the Astros. The most runs combined that the Astros and the Mariners have scored in any of their games so far this year. That one is on the outside corner, and Robles takes it for strike 3. So Martinez finally gets a strikeout. That's going to be the first out of the inning. He's up to 25 pitches. Ty France comes to bat. Here comes the first pitch to him. That one's grounded straight to Bregman, and looks like they're going to try to convert 2, and they get it no problem. France is not a speedster, and so the Astros get the double play that they needed to end the inning. From Bregman to Altuve to Dubon. Excellent. I would expect to not see any more of Martinez in this game going into the 8th inning. Alright, so luckily the Astros managed to get out of that inning without giving up any more runs. In the top of the 8th, the Mariners will face Alex Bregman, Yordan Alvarez, and Yainer Diaz. It seems to me that every time, I haven't called many of these games, but it does seem to me that every time I have to get up like at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning to call a game, the Astros lose. It's very annoying. It's very annoying when I get up so early to call a game and sit here for several hours and the Astros lose. It's terrible. It's terrible. It's absolutely terrible. But I'm going to stick it through because it doesn't make any sense to do a live stream and do a play-by-play and end it early. I've seen some other people do that with their teams. In the past, when I wanted to listen in on some Astros games on YouTube, the only channel that was calling for the Astros was a Spanish channel. But if I want to listen to the game, I have to listen to opposing teams call it if I want to listen to it in English. And sometimes the Astros would just start scoring many, many runs and start to blow out the other team, and the live streamer will end the game. They'll just end this live stream because they don't want to keep calling the game with their team losing so bad. But I think that's crappy. That's a fair weather fan. And if you're going to do a live play-by, I understand if you don't want to watch the game, but a live play-by-play, that's terrible. All right, well, Alex Bregman comes up and quickly gets a ground out. Alex Bregman has an on-base streak going for several games, and with that out, he might be done with that streak if he doesn't get another chance to at-bat or have an at-bat. 429-foot home run by Alvarez earlier, 118 feet high. Jordan is up to bat with one out here in the top of the eighth. That was way off the plate for ball one. Here comes the second pitch from Santos. This one is low and in the zone, but gets just enough of the zone to be called strike, so it's 1-1. 1-1 is the count here in the top of the eighth versus Jordan Alvarez. Gregory Santos on the mound for the Mariners. And here comes the 1-1 pitch. Ooh, 100 miles an hour and right in there. A fastball on the inside corner for strike two. Jordan not swinging so far. Let's see if he swings at this one. Can he crush another one? This one is on the inside and fouled off his foot, it looks like. Yeah, he's limping around a little bit. Espada comes out to check Jordan. Trainer comes out. He's walking around grabbing at his shin. It looks like it hit just above his shin guard off his leg. We're showing the replay now. We'll see exactly where it hit him. Very hard swing. Yeah, he fouled it off his front leg, right off the top of his shin, right above the shin guard. So the shin guard only comes up just a little over halfway on that leg. And that ball hit right above the shin guard, right on the bone. But he shook it off. He's back in the batter's box, and we're going to continue now. 1-2 strikes. Here comes the pitch. And he crushes this one down the first base line. It's going to go all the way out to the wall. He should have a double easy on that, and he does, standing. The ball finally comes in. This is a triple double for Jordan. So Jordan actually, with this hit, this double, Jordan gets his triple double of the game. He hits for the cycle, and the crowd actually cheers for him. Yeah, they gave him some respect. Pretty nice. Very good. So Yainer Diaz comes up. First pitch, 100 miles an hour on the outer upper corner of the zone. This is the first career cycle for Jordan, actually. I didn't realize that. I didn't know it was his first one. 0-1 on Diaz with one out. Jordan on second base. Here comes the pitch. Low and away for ball one. 1-1. Here comes the 1-1 pitch to Diaz. This one is hit off the pitcher, and it looks like they're able to throw it over and get Diaz in time on first base, but the ball bounced off the pitcher, went into the air, and the second baseman was able to snatch it up and fire it over to first base for the out. Now they're out checking the pitcher to see if he's okay. He's trying to tell him that he's okay, but it looks like the ball hit him on his glove hand. And it looks like he's going to stay in. We're going to take a look at the replay here. Diaz hit it straight back at him. Well, that angle we don't get to see it. Camera was not on the pitcher. Wow, that was kind of crazy. After he got hit, he went down on the ground and laid back on the ground, very strange looking. He looked like he was in a ton of pain, but as soon as the coach and the trainer started to come out, he waved him off like he was okay. Crazy. So this is a line drive shot right off his wrist. It bounced off his wrist. It was a line drive shot right off his wrist, right above his glove. So 2 outs. McCormick is up. Chaz comes through with a hit. That's going to bring in Jordan. Jordan was able to get the third on that grounder by Diaz, or that line drive shot by Diaz. And now that scores Jordan. The Astros pull within 2 runs now of the Mariners on Chaz's single right between shortstop and second. They were on a shift there, but he was able to get it right between the guys and into left center field. Now Pena is up, and he swings at the first pitch again, but this one is going to go straight up to center field. It looks like he's having a hard time finding it, and he does. He pulls it in for the 3rd out. I'm not sure if he was playing around or if he really had trouble seeing the ball there. It looked like he was being silly. But the Astros close the gap again with another 1-run inning. Now they are 2 runs down, 6-4. Both teams have 9 hits. This game is just so strange. So many strange things have happened in the past few innings. From about the 6th inning forward, it has just been strange. It's unclear who the Astros are going to have come in on the mound, but I would guess that Martinez is finished. I would hope that he's finished. Whoever is going to be on the mound is going to be facing Cal Raleigh, followed by Jorge Polanco, and then Josh Rojas. It seems like not many people are coming in and checking out the game today or joining today in the live chat. I hope those that have joined or happen to be watching, I say I've only got like one person watching right now. I hope that you can at least like the video, and if you can, subscribe if you're interested in hearing more of the Astros games. Right now I'm doing this to see if it's feasible for me to continue, because it's quite pricey to stream the Astros games. Once a month I have to pay for a subscription, and if my viewers, my amount of subscribers and viewers can help offset that cost, then I will continue to call the games. But if for some reason I'm not able to do that, I will not be able to continue. I'll have to do something else. I'm trying to do work from home because of medical costs. Dubin is on the mound for the Astros, and he'll be facing Cal Raleigh. First pitch to him is a little high for ball. 1 ball, no strikes to Raleigh. Dubin coming in with the second pitch. This one a little outside for ball 2. 2-0 to start off the bottom of the 8th inning here. Dubin gets the call and goes into his windup. This one is fouled back for strike 1. 96 mile per hour. Nice looking pitch there. 2-1 against Raleigh. Dubin looks for the signal. He's got it. And here comes the pitch. High and outside for ball 3. So Dubin behind in the count. Here comes the pitch, the 3-1 pitch, high and in the zone, but a swing and a miss by Raleigh. That will be a full count, 3 balls and 2 strikes. The full count pitch coming from Dubin. This one is sent to left field, a soft fly ball. Chaz is right under it, no problem. Out number 1. So Dubin comes back to get the fly out. Only Astro in franchise history with 3,000 hits, Craig Biggio. Pretty interesting, but I think that was a pretty easy guess. If you know the Astros, you probably could have guessed that. Very first pitch to Polanco is fouled away for strike 1. 0-1. Dubin's got the call, and here comes the pitch. Nice movement on that ball. Polanco goes for it, fouls it down the first base line for strike 2. Dubin out ahead in the count this time. Polanco steps back into the box. Dubin goes into his windup. Here's the pitch. Little outside for ball 1. Not a bad pitch, but Polanco was not biting. 1-2. Mariners have some guys warming up in the bullpen. Third pitch is grounded straight towards Dubon, who flips it to Dubin. Easy for the second out of the inning. No problem there. That was a pretty hard hit ball, but Dubon was right there to get it. Josh Rojas is coming up to bat with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 8th. Dubin up to 10 pitches now. Here comes the first pitch from Dubin. Right down the middle fastball, 97 miles an hour, fouled away to the third base side, now to play. Strike 1. Dubin gets the call. Starts his windup, and here comes the pitch. Oh, right in the bottom of the zone at 96 miles an hour for a strike. That was a good pitch. Rojas took it all the way. 0-2. Once again, Dubin is out ahead in the count. And here comes the 0-2 pitch. Right down the middle, fastball, 96. It's out to left field. Is Bregman going to be able to get there? He can't quite get it. Bregman runs all the way to the wall, but it goes right into the stands, less than 10 feet into the crowd. Unless Bregman can jump through the net and get into the crowd. Unfortunately, he can't get it. It's very rare that Bregman can't get to the ball, but it has to be out of play, like really out of play, for him not to be able to get to it. Count remains 0-2. Rojas back in the box. Dubin gets the call and goes into his windup. Here comes the pitch. Nice pitch, but hit right to Pena, who scoops it up on one hop, fires over to first to get the third out. Much more solid pitching by Dubin, and excellent defense by the Astros to shut down the Mariners in the 8th inning, no problem. I was hoping that they would bring in Dubin in the 6th inning. I'm actually kind of surprised that they took Blanco out at all. I didn't understand that because they had 2 outs and just needed 1 out, and they pulled him out. And the result of that was Martinez coming in and giving up 3 runs on 2 hits. He had 1 runner on. Blanco had 1 runner on with 2 outs. I believe he had just gotten a double play, and they took him out. Seth Martinez comes in, gives up a hit, and then gives up another hit, which was a home run. 3-run shot. The Mariners had a 1-run lead that turned into a 4-run lead just super quickly because of Martinez. And then Martinez didn't do badly in the next inning. They kept him in, but still a little scary. Mariners were still making consistent contact with the ball, but he managed to get them out of the inning. I think they should have kept Blanco in for that last out in the 6th inning. I think he could have gotten it. But if they were going to change pitchers, I wish they would have brought Dubin in at that time. However, they made neither of those decisions, and I think they paid for it. I'm not a professional. I'm not the coach. That's just my personal opinion. But, who knows? Now here we are in the top of the 9th inning. This will be the Astros' last chance to at least tie the game up. They are down 6-4. They will be facing Andre Munoz, a new pitcher, right-handed pitcher. Jake Myers is the first batter. Here comes the first pitch. Inside corner, swing and miss by Jake Myers. Oh, 0-1 is the count against Myers. Here comes the second pitch by Munoz. A little outside. Put some heat on it at 98 miles an hour, but just off the corner for ball 1. 1-1. Jake 0 for 3 today. Here comes the pitch. High and a little outside, but Myers swings around and misses at another 98 mile per hour heater. Way up in the zone. Myers unable to make a connection. 1 ball, 2 strikes. A little half-hearted cheer from the crowd looking for a strikeout. Not nearly as loud as the Astros typically get when the count gets to 2 strikes. Usually much louder than this at Minute Maid Park. Now the crowd is really quiet. Ooh, strike 3 on the lower outside corner. You can't take a pitch like that when you got 2 strikes. That was a perfectly placed pitch. It would have been hard to hit. That slider, 87 miles per hour, but the location was perfect. Can't take that pitch. Myers goes down, remains hitless for the game. That brings up Trey Cabbage. First pitch to him, low, but he swings and misses for strike 1. Cabbage does have 1 hit in this game. Let's see if he can do something here. 0-1. Here's the next pitch. Outside for ball 1. 1-1. Astros have just 2 outs to get 2 runs at least and tie this game up, send it into extra innings. Here comes the pitch. Low again and swung at and missed by Cabbage. He's now down on the count, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Can the Astros go gangbusters here? Come on. Cabbage with the 1-2 pitch on him. Another low pitch in the dirt, and he swings and misses it. So Cabbage swings and misses 3 pitches that are too low to be swinging at. The last one in the dirt. Overall, I just haven't been impressed. The last several games I've seen with Cabbage, I just haven't been impressed with his at-bats. He's just swinging at bad pitches and missing completely. So the Astros now have 2 outs against them in the top of the 9th. This is their last opportunity here. Joey Loperfido comes in to pinch hit for Dubon. First pitch from Munoz. This one is low, but he doesn't swing. Unlike Cabbage, who seems to be swinging at everything down in the dirt. 1 ball and no strikes against Loperfido. Munoz comes set. Here's the pitch. Right down the middle, a little outside at 98 miles an hour and fouled away by Loperfido. Wasn't a bad swing. Just didn't make a solid contact to straighten it out. Cheers are lazy, but Wow, that was high and outside, but called strike. Loperfido had a good eye there, and the ump called it a strike, but it was not close enough to be a strike. That was unfortunate. Strike two. 1 ball, 2 strikes, so we're down to 1 strike here left for the Astros. They got to do something. Here comes the pitch. Low and inside, strike three. Loperfido goes down swinging. That's going to be it for the Astros. They dropped the game, but they win the series. A very disappointing game overall, simply because of Martinez. He cost the Astros the game. With that 3-run shot, the Astros lost the game, literally, because the final score is 6-4 Mariners. With that 3-run shot, the Astros, without that 3-run shot rather, the Astros would have won this game 4-3, assuming that the Mariners didn't score any runs in the 9th inning, but I think that the Astros could have gone lights out on them. Very disappointing, but that's the way it is. I'll do a quick recap for you guys to wrap up the game. Cabbage has a great name. Well, unfortunately, he hits like Cabbage. He's been swinging and hitting like Cabbage recently, so unfortunately, he hasn't been playing very well. I mean, his defense is good, but you got to hit the ball, and he hasn't been doing it. He's been swinging it crap. Just a quick recap for the game. For some reason, when I mute the game, the stats disappear. That's very annoying. I don't understand that. All right, so just a quick recap. The Astros had 9 hits. The Mariners had 9 hits, but the Mariners wound up converting 6 runs on those hits versus the Astros only converting 4, and left several opportunities on the board with runners in scoring position. Blanco went through almost 6 full innings. He had 2 outs and 1 runner on in the 6th inning, and they pulled him out at 100 pitches. They brought in Seth Martinez, who proceeded to give up a 3-run shot, and that's what cost the Astros the game. The Astros did manage to get 4 runs on the board, which is respectable, but still wasn't enough to overcome the 6-run, the 2-run or the 3-run deficit at the time. Eventually, the Mariners would wind up with 6, and 3 of those from Blanco over 5 2/3 inning, and then 3 more runs and just a couple of hits off of Seth Martinez. That was a disappointing game. Difficult loss. The Astros came very close to sweeping the series, an important series versus a division rival that was only 1 game behind, and now the Astros are just slightly ahead, according to the stats. I haven't looked at them, but I'm pretty sure that the Astros are only slightly ahead by percentage. And we'll see how things go with the Astros. Coming up next, the Astros are going to be facing... I'm going to pause this. This game is still going in my headphones, so I want to pause it so it doesn't distract me. The Astros schedule coming up, I believe the next series they have is with the Oakland A's, and that will start tomorrow. Depending on the time of the game, I may or may not be able to stream it, but we'll see. The next game is tomorrow at, well, for me, I'm in Japan, so the time is 10:40 in the morning. I will not be able to call the game tomorrow unless for some reason I can call. I might be able to go live towards the end of the game if I get home from my classes. If the game is still going on, it's possible I might be able to call the very end of it, but we'll just have to wait and see. I definitely won't be able to call the entire game, but the preview for that game is that Spencer Arrighetti is slated to pitch for the Astros, and Hogan Harris. Both pitchers actually played for the Ragin' Cajuns in Louisiana, Lafayette. That I think will be the first time that that's ever happened. And right now, I don't see any other pertinent information for that game. But this game will be at Oakland, I believe. Let me see. Yep, it's going to be at Oakland Coliseum. And I would hope that the Astros sweep this series and move up to 55-47. They really need to sweep this series for a couple of reasons. One is to improve their record, but the main thing is to pull away from the Mariners. I don't know who the Mariners have coming up. Let's take a look and see. The Angels. Okay, well, the Angels aren't a stellar team, but they aren't going to be a pushover either, especially considering how the Mariners haven't really been hitting very well overall. They got lucky today because the Astros made some terrible decisions on the mound, and so it is what it is. But if the Angels can take one or two away from the Mariners and the Astros can sweep the A's, then the Astros can actually start to pull away. But still, they won the series. That's the important thing, and that's pretty much it for today. Any of you? Yeah, that's right, Rick. Just ahead by percentage points. I mean, if you flip the record, it looks the same, but by percentage points, it's slightly different. So the Astros do maintain the lead, but just by the bare minimal, right? But anyway, I really hope that the Astros can sweep the A's. Mariners can drop at least one to the Angels, if not two, and it's very possible that they could do that. And then the Astros could begin to pull away because they're going to have some tough teams coming up. They're going to have to face the Dodgers. My dream is for them to sweep the Dodgers. I really want them to destroy the Dodgers. I can't stand the Dodgers. It's not because of the team. It's because of the fans. I grew up with my older brother being a Dodgers fan for some reason. We're not from California, but my brother has always been obnoxious. And I don't mean in a fun, poking fun kind of way. I mean in a very in-your-face, your team sucks kind of way. Even when the Astros won their World Series, my brother couldn't even tell me congratulations. So there's a reason why I don't talk to my brother. It's not because of the Dodgers. It's just because that's how he is with everything. He just can't say a good word about anything. And so I'm always happy when the Astros go in and beat the Dodgers, especially at home. And I'm looking forward to that series because I really want the Astros to just clobber the Dodgers and sweep them off the map. That would be great. That's the sweep that I want the Astros to have this year. Just destroy the Dodgers. But that's it for now. Thank you guys for joining me. I actually have to get ready and go to school here in about 30 or 45 minutes. So I'm glad I was able to call this game today. I don't get to do too many games on the weekdays. For me, it's a weekday morning. It's Monday morning here in Hiroshima. So I'm going to get up and rush over to the school and take my Japanese lessons for the day. I've got more lessons tomorrow, and then we're going to have a summer break, thankfully. So coming up here very soon, starting Wednesday for you guys, if you're in the U.S., it'll be Tuesday. But basically for me, starting from Wednesday, I have a summer break for almost 4 weeks. So I should be able to do many of these games. And here's the thing. If you're really interested in me continuing to do these games, then please support the channel, like and subscribe, because over the coming summer holiday, this will help me to determine if I'm able to continue this channel, because like I said, the monthly subscription to watch the game on MLB TV is not cheap. Plus, I really need to be able to get some other software so that I can show you more information on the screen. I would like to be able to show you the current stats of the game, who's on base, and all of those things, instead of just showing you the feed from ESPN's game tracker. But in order to do that, I have to spend some money. However, I can't spend too much on that because of my health condition. I'm having to spend a lot of money on my medicine, and until I start getting some good steady income coming in, I can't devote too much to my channel. But if things go well over the summer and a lot of you guys are interested in subbing and following me, and I start to see some good results from my channel, then I will definitely keep it going and call these games for you every chance that I get. and we'll see how it goes from there. But thank you for being here. Thank you for any support you give, whether it's a like, a subscribe, or a donation. And that's it for today. Hope to see you next time. I won't be here tomorrow for the opener against the A's, but just real quick, let me see if I'll be able, what's in the next game I'll be able to call. Let me pull up the schedule here. Pulled up the wrong schedule. I pulled up the Mariners schedule. I'm still on the Mariners page. Dope. Let's see. Okay, down here, scroll down to full schedule. Okay, and here we go. The next game. Okay, the next two games for me, the games start at 10:40 in the morning, so I can't start live streaming those games simply because they start during the time I'm in classes. However, if the games are still going by the time I get home, which is roughly 2 hours after the game starts, I might come in and live stream the end of those games. There's no guarantee, but I might. However, the game on Wednesday, which is Thursday morning for me, it starts very early. It's like 4:30 in the morning, and if I can, I will get up to call that game. And then, but from there, it's a little easier for a couple of days. The game Friday and Saturday start at 9 and 10 in the morning for me. I'm not sure if I'll be able to do the Saturday morning game or not, simply because I may have some online classes that I need to do, which sucks because that's a Dodgers game. That's the series with the Dodgers. I really want to be able to call those games. But Sunday at 8 o'clock in the morning, and then Monday, well, these are actually Saturday and Sunday games for you guys, I should be able to call those games. So I'm really going to try to call the Dodgers series because I'm hoping that those games can be a sweep. Like I said, I can't stand the Dodgers. But anyway, hey Rick, I appreciate you saying that, man. I see some of these channels with tons of subscribers, and I really don't get it. You know how some of these live streams, some of them only have a couple thousand. They haven't been around for a long time. Some of them have like 15,000 subscribers. But then I see some that have like 120,000 subscribers, and I wonder how in the world do they have so many subs? Is it because they've been around a long time? Is it because they're funny? What is it exactly that they're doing that makes them get so many subs? So if there's anything else that you guys would like to see or hear or whatever, if you have any suggestions, feel free to throw them out there. Because like I said, if the channel can't really take off over the next month during the summer break, if I really can't see some good progress, then I'm going to have to pull the plug on it. Unless for some reason I'm teaching a lot of classes in my free time and making some good money and I can afford to keep the channel going. But right now, like I said, you know, my health situation forces me to find work online at home, and even if I could go out, if my health allowed me to go out and get a part-time job, the money here in Japan is really terrible, and I wouldn't be able to make enough money to support myself. So I'm really having to focus on making money at home. Any extra money that I make really needs to go towards my medicine. And to give you an idea of how much my cancer medication is costing me right now, it's my biggest expense. And the medicine and doctor's visits that I paid for last month after insurance cost me around $700. And I expect that next month will be close to that, very similar to what I spent last month. It's because they're trying to get me ready for surgery. And so doing these games is something I hope that can kind of take off enough to at least pay for itself, plus a little extra for some help with my medical expenses. If I could grow it into something that was making a few $100s a month, that goes a really long way right now because the yen is very weak in Japan. So anyway, I don't want to drag out too much longer. That's all the updates for now. If you guys have any questions, comments, or whatever, let me know. Rick, thank you for coming back in today, and it's nice to have you here. And we'll see how it goes. For now, I hope you have a great either Monday or Sunday wherever you are, and I hope to see you maybe tomorrow at the end of the game if I'm able to come in on the end of the game. But until then, that's all for now, and see you next time.